Hello, Keystone Algebra students. Sorry that I am out today. We are going to be continuing with Chapter 1 today, and we are going to focus on the order of operations. Right? The order of operations provides us some sense of what operations need to be done first, second, and third. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the acronym, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Right? P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponents, M is multiplication, D is division, A is add, and S is subtract. One thing to take note of is that when we are looking at multiplication and division, these are both essentially the same operation. So we don't necessarily have to always do multiplying before we divide. We are going to do those from left to right. So whichever one occurs first as you look at the equation, that's which one you're going to do. And the same can be said for addition and subtraction. They're both, again, the same operation. So we will, again, do those left to right. So if subtraction would be before addition, we would do that first. If division would be before multiplication, we would do that first. But it's, again, we just look left to right. Okay, and also with parentheses, these really are just any grouping symbols. So they could be parentheses, they could be brackets, they could be braces, they could be some sort of square root sign. But anything that is grouping numbers together is where we want to focus on and where we want to start. Okay? So the first example, 4 squared, and then times 5 minus the square root of 9. Right? So the order of operations says we need to start inside of our parentheses, which means that we are going to look at 5 minus square root of 9. And before we can do anything inside the parentheses, we have to simplify the square root of 9, which is going to give us 3. So we're going to have 4 squared, and then 5 minus 3. All right, we continue with the work inside our parentheses. So we have 5 minus 3, so we are going to subtract. So it'll be 4 squared, and 5 minus 3 gives us 2. Next thing now we are going to deal with our exponent. So 4 squared is going to be 16 times 2, which gives us a final answer of 32. Look at our next example. What is the value of negative 4g cubed h squared when g is 2 and h is 4? Right. So the first thing we have to do is we are going to substitute these values in for g and for h. So it's going to be negative 4 and then 2 cubed and then h, which is 4 squared. Okay, so we can type these in our calculator. So negative 4, that's just going to stay outside. We're going to do the positive 2 cubed, which is 2 times 2 times 2, which gives us 8. And then 4 squared gives us 16. And now we are just going to multiply from left to right. So we can type that in our calculator, negative 4 times 8 times 16, which will give us an answer of 512, and it's going to be negative. So you can now move on and watch the next video for the last 2 examples.